All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out on this bright and sunny Sunday morning. Everybody who won yesterday at the live battle?
The good guys.
The good guys.
The Germans.
So thank you for all coming out this morning. Hopefully, I heard yesterday was a wonderful experience with this great event and military festival. A couple more exciting things planned for later today. Another reenactment on the field right across over there, so be sure to enjoy it right after this show. We are those thrilling days of yesteryear, old-time radio recreations. Shows, we've been doing this for 13 years now, and we normally do our events over at the Oak Park Arms over in Oak Park. You can also get more information about us at TTDYradio.com, and that stands for Those Thrilling Days of Radio. Thrilling Days of Yesteryear Radio. So today we've got a fun show for you today. We're going back into the 1940s during wartime. We're helping out, and it really wasn't just the soldiers doing all the fighting. It was back here in the States. Everybody was doing their part, including rationing and recycling and bringing in metal and tin cans to the recycling station. Well, in today's episode, Jack Benny realizes it's time for him to do his part to help the war effort. So we bring you now that wonderful show that aired originally back in October 18th, which is coming up almost to the date, 1942. America was just involved in the war. Morale was high, and everybody was really excited to just do their part to help the Allies win. And so here we go, bring you back to so we're going to recreate this as close as we can in this outdoor surroundings with sound effects, music, and of course our wonderful actors covering all the roles. So while you're sitting here in the audience, you might wish to imagine that you were sitting in the studio audience. Today's show originally aired at the Air Force Base over at Williams Field in Tempe, Arizona. And it was live for all the soldiers there. So you might even imagine that you were one of those soldiers who were sitting there watching those actors up on stage do the show live broadcast. Or you might imagine that you were one of the family members sitting at home in your living room in front of the old Philco radio, anxiously awaiting for your favorite show to begin. So join us now as we take you back to those thrilling days of yesteryear.
The Great Nuts Flakes program, the first radio program to come to you from Williams Field near Tempe, Arizona, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, Rochester, and yours truly, Don Wilson. You know, friends, the other night I saw a movie about a young man as rich and distinctive as, well, as the rich, distinctive flavor of Grape Nuts Flakes. And he met a young girl as truly appealing as, well, as an appealing bowl full of Grape Nuts Flakes. And when they got married, they lived as happily as, well, as happily as folks who have that grand-tasting Grape Nuts Flakes at breakfast every morning. Well, friends, the moral of the story is just this. You'll find malty-rich, sweet as a nut Grape Nuts Flakes a delicious breakfast treat. Let Grape Nuts Flakes bring you your Grape Nuts flavor in the form of delicate, toasty brown flakes. A flavor that's utterly distinctive because it's a two-grain blend of sun-ripened wheat and malted barley, toasted golden brown and crisp, which makes Grape Nuts Flakes America's fastest-growing cereal. So for a smooth-tasting, delicious breakfast treat, ask for Grape Nuts Flakes in the thrifty 12-ounce package. That was This Is the Army, Mr. Jones, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Williams Field near Tempe, Arizona, we bring you a man who, after a week under the blazing Arizona sun, no longer looks like a frog's belly in the moonlight. Jack Benny.
Thank you, thank you. Frog's belly in the moon. Hello again. I mean, Grape Nuts Flakes again. This is Jack Benny talking, and Don, although you'd put it rather crudely, there's no question about it, I do look better with my desert tan.
Well, Jack, yes, you certainly do.
Why not? I'm outdoors all the time, horseback riding, swimming. I tell you, Don, I feel like $1 million. I mean, 25,000, you can't feel like $1 million anymore. You know, Don, this Arizona sunshine seems to have done you a lot of good, too.
Oh, it has, Jack. Every afternoon I've been taking a sun bath up on the roof of my hotel.
You take sun baths on the roof? That's a little dangerous, isn't it?
What do you mean, dangerous?
Well, there are a lot of planes flying around here. From 10,000 feet, you must look like a landing field. I mean, really, I'm not kidding.
Oh, now be reasonable, Jack. From 10,000 feet in the air, I look like an ant.
Well, it must be that fat ant of yours who lives in Denver. I know a landing field when I see one. Oh, hello, Wary.
Hello, Jack. Well, get a load of you. What a tan you've got.
Haven't I, though? I tell you, Mary, I look just like those toasty brown grape nuts flakes.
Yeah, but you still shake like Jell-O.
I do not. And the picture of health. Gosh, I've been outdoors all week.
Well, why didn't you get a room?
I got a room. I'm living in the Arizona Biltmore, and what a ritzy place this is.
Jack, the Arizona Biltmore isn't even open yet.
All right. So I have to make my own bed. A little bending over isn't going to do any harm. But that hotel is lovely. You kids should come out and see me sometime.
I'd love to, Jack. Which room are you in?
Oh, you can't miss it. It's the one with the boards knocked off the window. But do come over.
Imagine moving into a hotel that isn't even open yet. Well, that's the cheapest thing
All right. Forget it. Now, where are you living?
Well, I'm at the Westward Ho, and it's one of the most beautiful hotels in Phoenix.
It is,
But you wouldn't like it. It's got maids and bellboys and telephone and everything.
You're right. I'd rather rough it at the Biltmore. That's me.
Tell me, Mary, have you been having a lot of fun this week in Phoenix?
Soldiers and cowboys. How could I miss?
You're always thinking of men. What's the matter with you?
Perfectly normal. Look it up.
Well, I didn't mean that.
Hey, Jackson. Ain't it wonderful here in Arizona? There ain't nothing like those wide open spaces.
Oh, hello, Phil. Well, yes, it is. And the climate is so grand.
Yeah, this has the nuts. That's because there's very little humidity.
Who, what?
Humidity, stupid. That means no moisture.
I know what it means. I also know how to pronounce it, but I'll be darned if I tell you. Say, where have you been living, Melonhead? Gee, I'm glad I added that in. Oh, no kidding, Phil. Where have you been living?
Well, look, Jackson, I'm staying at a beautiful place. It's called the Camelback Inn.
Oh, you're at the Camelback, huh? Having a good time?
Well, I've gone without water for 7 days, if that's what you mean.
Well, that's typical of you, Phil. You come to a beautiful place like this and you don't get any rest at all.
What are you talking about? I'm under the bed every night by 10 o'clock.
Well, Phil, I'd like to ask why you don't sleep on top of the bed, but I know your orchestra's there. By the way, you and your boys came all the way back from Hollywood on the Santa Fe bus, didn't you?
Well, all by my guitar player. He bought a new pair of shoes, and he wanted to break them in.
Oh, my goodness. Now I've heard everything.
Say, Mr. Benny, I was wondering if I could dedicate my song tonight to...
hello, Dennis.
Hello. Say, Mr. Benny, I was wondering if I could dedicate my song.
What'd you say?
I was wondering if I could dedicate my...
How do you feel out here in the desert, kid?
Oh, fine.
Good.
I had a slight case of cactus in my feet, but it's all out now.
There's a lot of that going around. I know about that.
Jack backed into a cactus the other night, and he had to take off his pants with a pair of tweezers.
All right.
Say, Mr. Benny, I was wondering if I could dedicate my song tonight to a girlfriend of mine. I'm singing Conchita.
Oh, that's your girl's name? Conchita?
No, Babe Marks.
Well, what's the connection between Conchita and Babe Marks?
Well, she can cheat more than any girl I ever met.
Dennis, you better get a big hat. The sun here is taking advantage of you. Sing, Dennis.
He was a handsome young Irish lad, she was a Mexican beauty. It was fiesta and I might add, romantically he was on duty. A boy and a girl neath the stars, I can tell it in 60 odd bars. His Irish heart went bingo when he saw the Rosa Juarez. Conchita, Maquita, Lolita, Papito, Rorita, Juanita Lopez. Oh, you're a lovely thing, oh. For me there's but one girl, he said. Conchita, Marquita, Lolita, Pepita, Rodita, Delita, Lopez. Mandolins began to play, and her lips were there to kiss. As they danced, I heard him say, New Jersey was never like this. The bells began to ring on as they rode away on a mule. To prove I'm not joking, if you're in Hoboken, drop in for a minute and you'll meet Conchita, Marquita, Lolita, Pepita, Rosita, Juanita, O'Toole. And there's little Teresa, Maria, Elisa, and Patsy, and Molly, and Mike, and Jose, and Pancho, and Pedro, and Sancho, and Timmy, and Tommy, and Spike. Of course there are others, they're sisters and brothers, they're older and they go to school. There's no more to my song now, so I'll run along now. That's all for the bell and O'Toole.
That was Conchita Rosita Lopez, sung by Dennis Day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important announcement to make. Last Monday afternoon, Jack Benny went to an official automobile graveyard in Los Angeles and contributed his famous Maxwell to the junk salvage drive.
Yep. Little Maxie's gonna do her bit in the war effort.
So at this time, folks, we would like to reenact for you all that took place on that historic occasion.
Gosh, did I make history?
Why, certainly. They wanted to take Paul Revere out of the school books and put you in.
Oh, stop. I know better than that.
John Paul Revere, what a sailor he was.
Oh, quiet. Continue, Don.
Jack felt that his whole radio gang should be present to take a farewell ride in his old jalopy. So he told us all to be at his house at 3 o'clock sharp, and we'd all ride to the junkyard together.
Well, imagine turning a car like this into the junk pile. Why, the motor is in wonderful condition.
Wonderful condition?
Yes.
I lifted up the hood yesterday, and the spark plugs were playing Ring Around the Fan Belt.
That's a lie, because I was wearing the fan belt. You know, fellas, I realize I should give my car to the salvage drive, but gee, you can't blame a guy for feeling blue and all choked up.
Did the laundry shrink your collar?
No. Pay attention. I'm sentimental. Well, take it easy, Rochester. No use getting another ticket for speeding.
Holy smokes, Jack. You mean to say you got a ticket for speeding in this car?
That's right, Miss Sheriff. Our bumper got hooked onto a fire truck.
I don't care how it happened. It was going like the wind. Now watch what you're doing, Rochester. Grab hold of the steering wheel.
I'll catch it the next time it comes by.
Well, you bet. Gosh, imagine after all these years, parting with my little Maxwell.
Oh boy! Hey, look at that gorgeous blonde standing on the corner there.
Where? Whoa, what? Oh, yeah, I see her.
Oh, Jack, put down that telescope.
Well, I know the girl. It's Shirley Truebutts. Hello? Hello, Shirley? Remember me? Turn here, Rochester. That junkyard is down on Western Avenue. Gee, it ought to be around here somewhere.
There's the sign, Jack. Official automobile graveyard.
Oh, yeah. Turn in there, Rochester.
Okay.
And watch that curve.
Easy does it.
Well, that's it, fellas. That was our last trip. Our last ride in the Maxwell.
I'll buy drinks.
Never mind. Hello.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I'm Jack Benny. Are you head man of this junkyard?
I'm not wearing this carnation in my overalls for nothing.
Oh, yes. Well, and I've got a car here I'd like to turn in for the salvage drive. This is it, right here.
Well, we do need junk, but, aren't you overdoing it, old man?
Look, buddy, scrap is scrap. Now, how much am I offered?
The rate we're paying here is $7 a ton, so I can give you about $7.50.
$750? Wait a minute, mister. I got a lot of extras on this car. For instance, there's a radio and the fog lights and the cigarette lighter.
What cigarette lighter?
Right there.
That's a candle.
Well, if you can't light a cigarette with a candle, brother, you ought to give up smoking. Now, how much am I offered?
It's still $750.
Ah.
Now, you can have cash, but if you like, I'll pay you in war stamps.
Yeah, I'll take the war stamps.
Yes, sir. Would you like a wet sponge, or have you the strength enough to lick them?
Just give me the stamps. I'll handle it. Thanks. Well, that's that.
Come on, Jack. Let's get going.
Yeah. Gotta get going, I guess. Yes, sir.
Come on, Jackson. Let's get out of here.
Yep. Gotta leave my little Maxie. Oh, well, it's for a good cause. Yep.
Well, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. Well, come on, Rochester. Come on.
I'm coming, boss. I'm coming out.
Oh, stop bawling or you'll have me doing it too. Come on, let's get out of here.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's several hours later, and Jack has returned to his home in Beverly Hills, and as we pick him up now, it's about bedtime.
5 years. 5 years I've had that little Maxwell, and now it's gone forever. Well, I might as well turn in, I guess. Get my pajamas out, Rochester.
I put a nightshirt right there in the bed, boss.
I don't want a nightshirt. I've been getting cold lately, and the nightshirt creeps up on me.
This one won't do any creeping. I put stirrups on it.
Good. Good. I don't think I'll bother creaming my face tonight. No, really. I'm too tired. My complexion's all right.
But I got new stuff at the drugstore. Betty's Buffered Beauty Balm.
What's that?
Well, it says right here, put it on and take a snooze. Clears up wrinkles on face or shoes.
Well, just put it on my shoes tonight. I'm all in. Here, hang up my pants and undershirt. Yeah, well, good evening, Mr. Billingsley.
Good evening, Mr. Bunny. Fixed for your physical, I see.
No, I'm just getting ready for bed. I've been very restless lately.
Well, in that case, you must try one of my new sleeping pills. Here you are.
But Mr. Billingsley, this isn't a sleeping pill, it's a baseball bat.
Well, if that doesn't do the trick, you ought to see a doctor.
Well, thanks anyway.
Don't mention it. Good night, Mr. Bunny.
Good night.
Oh, I haven't seen her in years.
He's a strange fellow. Boy, am I all in.
Pleasant dreams, boss. Brace yourself.
Rochester, put down that baseball bat. You're as bad as he is. Gosh, this bed feels real good. Although how I can sleep with my Maxwell all busted up in the junkyard, I don't know.
Boss, well, why don't you look at it this way? Before you know it, the scrap in your car is going to be part of a battleship, or a tank, or an airplane.
Gee, I never thought of it that way.
I tell you, boss, if everybody in the country turned in their old junky cars and gathered all the scrap they could, there wouldn't be no shortage of nothing, especially victory.
You're right, Rochester. Absolutely right. Well, good night.
Good night, Mr. Benny. If your hot water bottle springs a leak, just put a Band-Aid on it.
I will. Hey, no wonder I'm tired. Gee, I practically helped Henry Kaiser build a ship today. Gosh, just think. Little Maxie, gonna be a ship. Or a tank. Or maybe an airplane. $7 a ton.
Calling Bombardier Benny. Calling Bombardier Benny. Report to commanding officer immediately.
Bombardier Benny? Gee, that's me. I'm a bombardier.
Calling Bombardier Benny.
sir. Bombardier Benny reporting. Did you call me, sir?
Yes, what kept you?
Sorry, I was creaming my face. What's up, sir?
There's a bomber waiting outside and you're assigned to the crew. Your destination is Tokyo.
Tokyo?
Yes. Are you ready?
I sure am, Colonel Bridget. I'm all set to shove off.
Good. You'll find your bomber on the north runway. The pilot's warming up the plane now.
Wait a minute. I forgot my radio, my fog light, and my cigarette lighter.
Here's a candle.
A candle?
Yes, if you can't light a cigarette with a candle, you ought to take off that fan belt.
Gee, the Colonel's in a happy mood today. Oh, boy, Tokyo. I'm gonna blow that joint to smithereens, or my name ain't Bombardier Benny. Gee, look at all those bombers. I wonder which one is mine.
Your plane is coming right up.
Where? Well, I'll be. It's my Maxwell. Only it's got wings on it. Maxie, speak to me. It knows me. Gee, it's nice up here. How high are we, Rochester?
10,000 feet, boss.
Good. At $7 a ton, that's a fortune. Well, we're off to Tokyo.
We sure are.
Uh-oh. There's a red light up ahead. Slow down, Rochester.
Red light. That's the sun.
Well, it just turned green. Step on it. Look at that water down there. Is that the Pacific Ocean, Navigator?
It sure is, Jackson.
Phil Harris. Are you the Navigator, Phil?
Well, I ain't wearing this carnation in my nose for nothing.
Oh, yes. Oh, where are we, Phil?
Well, according to the calculations I just computed on my Mercurator chart, we're at a feet of the apex, longitude 42, latitude 51, and a wind velocity of $7 a ton.
What does that mean? Where are we?
St. Joe, Missouri. They love me there.
Come on. We've got to get to Tokyo. Gee, I hope we've got enough bombs with us.
Cigars, cigarettes, bombs. You can't have any fun over Tokyo without a bomb.
I'll take one of those, miss.
You want a wet sponge with them, or can you drop them yourself?
Yourself? Oh, I haven't seen her in years. What's the matter, Rochester?
We're running into bad weather, boss. Look at that cloud up ahead.
Where? Why, I know that cloud. It's Don Wilson. Hiya, Don.
Hello, Jack. Where are you going?
Tokyo.
Good. I rained all over it last night.
You want to come along with us, Don?
I'd love to, but I gotta float back to America now and tell everybody about America's fastest growing cereal. Those toasty brown, sweet as a nut, Great Nuts Flakes. There you go again. The grain. The grain.
Well, come on, Harris. You're the navigator. Which way to Tokyo?
I'll have to get my position by radio.
Tune it in.
And so chin up. But with Fred in the house, we find Sally Yakamoto waiting for her husband, Tojo.
That's a Japanese radio. We must be on the beam, all right. We've got to get ready. Where's our machine gunner, Shirley Truebucket?
Here I am, Mr. Benny.
Good. We're on our way, fellas. It won't be long now. Hey, who's that passing us?
It's Jimmy Doolittle.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Jimmy.
Hiya, Jack.
Good old Doolittle. Follow him, Rochester. He knows where Tokyo is. Gee, it ought to be around here someplace.
Look, Mr. Benny, there's a big island down below us.
And that city there in the middle of it is Tokyo.
Tokyo. Now get set, Harris. We're going into a dive.
A dive? I wouldn't drink with them guys for $1 million.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that. We're going to give them the works. Come on, men. Let's start dropping these bombs. That whole building blew up. Look at that bamboo fly. There goes another building.
Boss, wake up. Wake up.
Dreaming? Oh yes, Rochester. I just had the most wonderful dream. I dreamt I was bombing Tokyo.
Tokyo? Did you blow it all up?
Not quite.
Then I'll stir you up a Welsh rabbit. Let's finish the job.
That's an idea. What a dream.
You know, Uncle Sam tells us that one of the most vital industries in America is homemaking. Why, as a homemaker, you help to sustain the health and stamina of the home front. And to help you in that job, our government's National Nutrition Program tells you how to plan menus wisely to get each day plenty of the essential foods which promote health and vitality. Now that includes whole grain cereals such as delicious toasty brown Grape Nuts Flakes. For Grape Nuts Flakes are a whole grain cereal, so they supply important whole grain food values such as iron, niacin, and vitamin B1. Food values which every one of us need every day to keep ourselves in robust, good health. Yes, Grape Nuts Flakes at breakfast will give you a mighty good start on your daily normal routine. So, for a grand nutritious breakfast taste that's chock full of delicious flavor, make it malty rich, sweet as a nut Grape Nuts Flakes tomorrow morning.
That was the last number of the third program of the Grape Nuts Flakes series. All kidding aside, ladies and gentlemen, automobile scrap must furnish 5 million of the 30 million tons of the steel scrap needed to maintain steel productions at its current rate. So sell your old jalopy to an automobile graveyard and help keep the steel mills rolling. I want to thank Colonel Bridget and Colonel Grill for their friendly cooperation here at Williams Field. It was a real pleasure to dedicate this new theater here at the Post.
Fine building. No powder room.
Well, it's for the soldiers. Good night, folks.
The Jack Benny program was for the entertainment of Army personnel and does not necessarily constitute an endorsement of its products by the War Department.
Have you treated your family to Grape Nuts Wheatmeal? It's the new hot cereal that's extra nourishing, extra delicious, extra speedy. Grape Nuts Wheatmeal is a nourishing, whole-grain hot cereal. Every tempting, steamy bowlful is rich with the goodness of roasted wheat, with a texture that's smooth but full-bodied, and it cooks in just 3 minutes. So ask your grocer for the rich, hot brown cereal, Grape Nuts Wheatmeal. This program came to you from the Williams Field in Arizona. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
For coming out here today. It's been a beautiful Sunday morning. What a great way to kick off day 2 of this wonderful, exciting event. We've had such a pleasure being here, and we so thank you for being out there in the audience. Once again, we are those thrilling days of yesteryear, old-time radio recreations. We perform about once every 6 weeks or so at the Oak Park Arms. Our next show is actually going to be celebrating the spooky Halloween season with classic renditions, radio renditions of Edgar Allan Poe stories, including The Telltale Heart and The Fall of the House of Usher. It'll be November 2nd on Sunday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon over at the Oak Park Arms in Oak Park, Illinois. And admission is free and open to the entire family for come and enjoy. So now let me bring to you the cast of those thrilling days of yesteryear. John Corona, Pam Turlo, Randy Knott, John Gould, Don Gingle, Aaron Wolfenson, and I am the producer, Ben Dooley. Thank you. And again, please go and visit our website, www.ttdyradio.com, for more information and to get on our mailing list so that you can catch all of our other shows. Have a wonderful rest of the day here. And once again, we'd like to thank you, the audience, for being here and helping our audience come alive, our show come alive, so that we could bring those thrilling days of yesteryear back to you. Thank you.